The world constantly tells us who we should be, filling our minds with noise and doubt. But the most important voice we need to hear is the one waiting patiently inside our own heart. This is the story of Daniel, a young man who had just taken over his family's small, failing bakery. The business was an old, beautiful tradition, but the city had changed. New chain shops opened everywhere. Daniel felt overwhelmed and entirely inadequate. Every morning, as he mixed the dough, a feeling of deep doubt mixed in with the flour. "I'm not strong enough," he worried. "I don't have the skills. I will fail them." His heart felt heavy, full of emptiness where faith should have been. One day, an old friend of his grandfather, a wise woman named Elena, visited the shop. She didn't buy anything, but simply watched Daniel struggling to lift a huge, heavy sack of grain. He wrestled with it, straining until his face was red, before finally giving up, defeated. "Why do you fight the sack so hard, Daniel?" Elena asked, her voice soft but clear. "I have to move it, Elena. But it's too heavy. I just don't have the strength," he sighed, wiping his brow. "Everything here is too much for me." Elena smiled gently. She walked over to the sack, which looked impossibly large next to her small frame. She didn't try to lift it all at once. Instead, she pointed to a small, empty bucket nearby. "The sack is heavy because you are trying to lift a month's work in a single minute." This simple observation was the twist that caught Daniel off guard. He had been so focused on the overwhelming size of the challenge, the whole failing business, the entire sack of grain, that he had failed to see the small, manageable steps. He was comparing his current, single moment of effort to the massive, expected result. Elena bent down and scooped a small amount of grain into the bucket. It was a light, easy task. She handed the bucket to Daniel. "This is a single loaf of bread, Daniel. Can you lift this?" "Yes, of course," he said, feeling foolish, but also seeing the truth. "And if you fill and lift that small bucket 50 times, do you not move the whole sack?" she asked. "Your strength is not a sudden magic that appears all at once. It is the quiet giving of 50 small efforts, done with faith and patience." That evening, Daniel looked at his struggling business, the long list of debts, the lack of customers. Instead of seeing the mountain of failure, he saw the small, empty buckets. He decided to focus on just one thing, making his grandfather's famous honey bread perfectly, one batch at a time, giving his entire heart to that single task. The climax wasn't instant success, but the return of his joy. He stopped worrying about the final result and found gratitude in the process, the feel of the dough, the warmth of the oven. His focus and his renewed faith led to better bread. Soon people noticed. A small, loyal customer base began to return. The emptiness in his heart started to fill with a quiet fullness. Daniel learned that his strength wasn't hidden somewhere outside waiting to be found. It was always inside, found in the courage to make a small, focused effort, again and again. You don't need to lift the whole world to prove your worth. You just need to lift the small task in front of you with heart. If this story reminded you of your own potential, share it with someone who is struggling to find their strength.